Hey y'all, Gary from customcuts.ca again. See y'all's a lot of you struggling with those little rolls. So I'm finally gonna make this video on how to do the little rolls. Come with me. We'll go get one of the little rolls. Y'all know what these are. 10-inch rolls cut off a 30-inch, right? These are high tax. This is 35/28, and then 36/51 clear. These are my other extras. Label them, guys, so you know which one you're using and you're not guessing. At the beginning I started to just pen them, but then I got fancy and put some labels together so they look nice. Just a thing. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do, switch out. You see I've got a roll there, got my other spindle here. Got a third one coming because I'm lazy. I use B-Flex for my HTV and 651RA for the 95% of my decals, but I've got other stuff too that I use, so I'm getting a third spindle for my one-off stuff, so I don't have to change out my HTV or my major vinyl anymore. Anyway, that's another story. So, take off the Oetiker clamp. Hold on. Put you down. Take off the one flange. And then put on your little roll, your 10-inch roll. But when you put it on, make sure you put it on the right way. That's on backwards. So we just flip her around, because that side goes like this. I'm having a hard time here. So, gotta go like this. Okay. Put it on. Put it back on. Wearing gloves. That way you can see what I'm doing. Wearing gloves because you don't want oil on your media. You get the oil from your hands on your media, not going to be happy. Okay, I'm using the 35/28, which is the 6 mil for this testing purpose. I have not used this yet. Bought it a long time ago, have not used it. So this is, if I get into printing and cutting, then it's going to be an experiment. Anyway, so that's ready to go. And turn you around. Oh yeah, and guys, if you're on a workbench, here's a nice little hack to save your media from hitting the floor and have it roll up. All I used was a rack from a shoe rack, like one of those 3-tier shoe racks. Cut it down there to fit, and then you have to cut, use a Dremel and slice open the inside of it to fit, but it does a beauty job. And you put zip ties to force it back on itself. Okay, so I will get this one out of here. I know it's not very fun watching me do that, but it's got to be done. And I'll put this one on here. Take your little roll, and what happens is we'll go through the nasty bit of it not working. Just so you can see, it doesn't work on my machine either. Because you can see where the grit rollers are? It's not sitting on the grit rollers. And that's why it's not gonna work. Okay? So what you're gonna do is take this out, and right down in here, see that hole? There's usually a screw in that hole. You're going to undo the screw. It's really long, so it takes a while, but you can do it. Now that moves. Okay, so what you're gonna do is center your assembly. Okay, and I'll show you. Let me put this back in. Okay, and I'll show you what you want to do. Oh, yeah. Is that gonna work? Okay. What you're gonna have to do is pop off the pin. Take this out. Okay. Undo your Odeker clamp so you can slide it. Okay, this is better when you're not trying to fill them. And give me a second, I'll show you. So now, hold on, take off that glove. Now you're centered, okay? And your media clamps are on the grit rollers, okay? So you are centered in the middle, okay? So now hold on, put the glove back on. Feed your media in. Now, usually put another Odeker clamp on this side and tighten that one up. Okay, that way your spindle isn't moving, can't shift. this is not so bad. It's not 50 yards of media. If it's 50 yards of media, it's heavy and it likes to move back and forth. So you need those clamps to stop it from moving. Okay, otherwise you're going to get shifting, and if you do a long run, you are going to run into trouble. I warn you now. Okay, so load your media. Always, always, always have it above this, forward from this black bar. That one, it's got to come out. Otherwise, if it pulls back in if it pulls too far back in and hits that ridge, that's your buckling. And that's why people are getting head strikes. Okay? Now something's not right. Oh, another thing. When you do this, you have to cover. See how I've got that there? There's another one back there. See that hole? You gotta cover it because that's your media sensor. So give me a second. I will find a piece of white vinyl or something to put over top. And you want to use white because it doesn't like dark colors. Let's see if I can get away with a piece of masking tape. Yep. Piece of masking tape worked. You have to cover up that back sensor or it thinks that there's no media loaded, so it'll beep like crazy. Okay, now what we're gonna do is come over to VersaWorks. Don't mind all the emails. Okay, now let's just pull up this guy. Okay, that's my setting for my large roll. It's 18.9. It's sitting at right now. Okay, 18.9. Now, what you do, get media width. Watch the magic. 8.78. Okay? It reads your media because the electronic eye reads the media. Get media width. You get the media width, and then it does its thing over here with the amount of copies, right? I'm gonna dial it back to, well, 6 a piece because I've got 2 files here. Okay, I'm gonna increase my spacing, not that much. Let's pull back here. 0.2. Okay, evenly spaced now for the most part. Like I said, I have not used this media, so I'm looking at, that's my regular, so that's 2.7, so 3 would be 6, which that media would be almost double that, so it'd be 180
I'm going to play it cautious with 165. If it doesn't cut through, then it doesn't cut through. I usually do test cuts, but for this purpose, I'm going to just do it this way and guess. Okay, but always do test cut, guys, and write down your settings and test cut. Okay, I'm going to change it to cut and print, and then default media settings, true rich color, standard, right? But I've got the bi-directional. See my other video for that trick, and we're good to go. Does that. Hit print. Print one copy. And
I'll keep you on here. I know it's boring to watch it cut, but at least you'll see that it's cutting where it should, and it's going to print where it should, because the printer's intelligent. It's a $5,000 plus machine, right? So it's got the intelligence of the eye to know where your media is and what to do, right? As soon as it starts printing and laying down some ink, I'm going to shut this off, because nobody wants to watch 5 minutes of printing. But just so you know and can see that it does what it's supposed to do, and reads the media and knows where to start and where to stop, right? Because that's what scared the bejesus out of me when I first did it, is I thought I was going to have ink all over here, right? Because you think that it's only going to sit here, right? That it's going to start here. Well, it doesn't start here. It starts at the edge of the media where it's supposed to start, because it's read the media. Now, if it doesn't start printing soon, I will shut this off. Oh, there we go. I just didn't know if my machine was hot enough or not, but it's pretty good. Doesn't take too long to heat up down here. And you see the ink start to lay down where it should. No ink here, and certainly no ink over here. Right where it should. Okay? So, take the screw out, center your media onto the grit rollers, get your media width in VersaWorks. Very important. Get your media width. Otherwise, it will start printing here, thinking that you've got whatever you've got. Let the computer do the job. Let the printer do its job and pull up the width and go from there. Just put your design in the width that you've got, right? But let VersaWorks pull the width. Very important. Otherwise, it will start printing here and you will have a mess. Okay, I'll say it again. Get media width. Every time you do a job, you should be doing that anyway, because there's slight variations. If you load it improperly or like something changes, get media width all the time. Same with test your print cut, right? Test your cuts, because your blade wears down, whatever, right? Don't do a whole run not checking your cut, right? Because you're going to be very sad if you do a run of 1,000 decals and they're not cut properly. You're SOL. Okay? So that's it. Any questions, comments, hit me on the Facebook group or on this YouTube, and I'll try my best to answer them. Okay, thanks guys.